today's live stream. It is Thursday morning, and I hope you guys have had an awesome week so far. I'm just trying to kill time while it goes live everywhere. I think it only takes a few seconds, so it should be fine. So today we are talking about, I've got my notes in front of me as always, which vitamin is good for mental health. So fun little fact, the way that I choose these topics is I just did some research into the most commonly asked questions for the people who I believe I'm called to speak to, which is Christian women who are struggling with mental and emotional well-being issues. So every video I've done so far is just answering a question that people are Googling or people are searching for. If you have questions that you want me to answer live, just let me know and I can do that too. But this is a common one for people to be asking, which vitamin is good for mental health? And I think this is a great place to start because particularly for me, like one of my values is like holistic well-being, holistic wellness. So doing lots of little things. That's how that's what helped me get through some really dark times, is just doing lots of little things to help. So we've talked about diet, we've talked about I can't even remember what else we talked about, but taking supplements is a great way to help you out as well. Is it going to be the be all and end all, and is it going to fix all your issues? Absolutely not, but it is a good place to start. So if you're watching this on YouTube, because this is going live in a couple of different places, jump over there, or if you're already over there, hit subscribe and hit the bell, particularly if, don't do it unless you are a Christian woman who is struggling with your mental and emotional well-being issues. So the reason it's so close to my heart is because I went through that too. And I know that I know personally that the enemy is attacking Christians today, particularly in the Western church, who we have so many resources and we should be getting the message of Jesus out to the people around us. But the enemy is attacking us and actually like through our minds, and he's making us feel immobilized and like we can't actually get out there and do the things that we're called to do. And so it's kind of putting a pause on what we could be doing for the kingdom. So my whole goal in all of this is to help women to overcome maybe they're feeling anxious or depressed or these things that I've struggled with, help them to have the same transformation that I had, that God did in me, so that we can become weaponized for the kingdom of God. Can you imagine the impact it's going to have? I have created a group online, just a free community for Christian women who are struggling with these things, to get through this. And can you imagine if everyone in that group just banded together and got through this together and became freed up to do the things that God had called them to do? The impact it's going to have on the world is just amazing. So that is my agenda. That is what I'm here to do. If that resonates with you, if you're on YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell. And if you're not on YouTube, once this is done, go over there and do that. Most of you are actually watching this on Facebook, I've noticed. I have set up a YouTube channel and everything, but I don't have anyone really looking at it over there. Which is to be expected because at the moment I'm starting with just my own people that I know. I am starting to reach strangers as well, which is kind of cool. But most of the people that watch these anyway are people that I know on Facebook. So if you wanted to jump over to YouTube and give that a bit of a kickstart, I would really appreciate that too. Okay, so the reason why I just went over why I'm talking about vitamins and supplements, but I actually started taking them for other reasons, not necessarily for my mental health, but I saw an impact on my mental well-being. And sorry, I'm just checking my notes to make sure I'm hitting everything I need to. So it's like it's a holistic approach, like I said before, to our well-being, is to take supplements. All right, so the supplement that I recommend, I take a bunch of different supplements for all different reasons, but one of the biggest ones that I have noticed helps me mentally is actually vitamin D. It's called the Sunshine the sunshine vitamin, because that's what we get when we spend time in the sun, which is not really going to happen today because it's quite overcast and cloudy. But yeah, if you spend time in the sun, you get vitamin D naturally. So what do you do if you don't get a lot of sun? Like me, I work in an office all day. I do step outside, and like if I'm walking to my car or walking into work, sometimes I'll get some sun, but I don't get a lot of sun. So that's when supplementing is a good idea. We'll get to that later though. So 3 things that it does for you. So just think about when you spend time in the sun, what it does to your mood. It makes you feel brighter and happier. So that's what vitamin D does. So we can then supplement that. It's probably not going to be as effective as getting it directly from the sun, but honestly, it's going to do some really great things to supplement as well, to get it in both ways. So the first thing is mood regulation. So people with low vitamin D, it's actually linked to anxiety and depression. It's really interesting. So if you don't get any sun, particularly it's interesting because people who are struggling with depression, they often isolate themselves and don't really come out of the house all that much. So that's going to make their issue even worse, So yeah, it's interesting that low vitamin D is linked to anxiety and depression. So what does that mean if you supplement it and if you start taking it and if you start spending time in the sun? It's going to help with those issues. So with mood regulation. Number 2 is brain function. So it actually, research shows that it could potentially support the growth of new brain cells. So that helps with improved memory, concentration, having a clearer mind. It can do all of that. So that's kind of cool. And then third of all, stress and anxiety reduction. So vitamin D tends to, well, they believe that it interacts with the neurotransmitters in your brain. So then that helps to regulate your mood and reduce stress. So they're just 3 really cool impacts that it will have on your mental well-being. So what do you do if you don't get a lot of sun? First of all, get more sun. I'm preaching to myself right now because if my mom is watching this, she's going to be like, yeah, Kiara, get out in the sun. What are you doing? Because I don't really do that very often. Anyway, so yes, get out in the sun more, but also you can supplement it. You need to do your research with this though, because not all supplements are the same. If you just go to like the grocery store and pick up one off the shelf, not to bag out the grocery store, but it's not going to have the same effect as if you get a high quality supplement. So I have done lots of research in this, and the supplements that I take are a higher quality. And anyway, I won't get all into that. If you want to know more, send me a message. I was also thinking in the community that I'm building online, I'm going to chock full the guide section full of some really great information of like in depth what I've done to get myself out of my sort of depressive state and high anxiety and all of that. And one of the things that I just came to me this morning that I'll put together soon is just a list of the different supplements that I take and where I get them from, and just to make it really easy for you guys to be like, okay, looks good. So I will get that done and I'll put that in the group in the coming weeks. I've got a bunch going on, so I can't promise that anytime super soon, but I will get onto that. But yeah, in the meantime, send me a message, ask me what I'm using. I'm more than happy to share that with you. That's all I had to share with you. There was something else and then it came and then it went. Anyway, that's it. but yeah, join the community if you haven't already jumped in there. It's really cool to see it's growing, and we've got some new people in there every day. So it's really, really cool to see. So jump in there if this is something that you have struggled with, because I was at a point where I was struggling to even get out of bed and face the day. And I was I was not in a good place, and God brought me out of that. And now I am happy to say that I'm in a really good place and I'm serving God. God's got me in a really great workplace where I'm helping to get the gospel out for my work, which is awesome. And I'm serving in church, and my life is full. I've got a lot going on, but I just feel on fire for God, and like God's using me, and it's just such a blessing. And I never, ever, ever, ever thought, even 5 years ago, that I would be living a life like this, because I don't even recognize myself from 5 years ago. I was in a very, very different place. And even more 10 years ago, just crazy. So if it can happen for me, it can happen for you. And I would love to just share with you the things that have helped me. And hopefully these videos have been helpful with that too. But that's it from me for this week. I will see you again on Facebook and on YouTube on Tuesday next week, and in the community if you want to jump in there too. Okay, I will end this now.